Hi there. Wanted to show you a couple of AI automation that I built for a digital marketing agency, which I think are very helpful, and you can get an idea of the type of work and how can I help you. I start with a Google Ads AI summary. So you set up an account here, and then you will have options to get the data from the last 7 days, last 14 days, and so on, and compare it to the previous period, but also with the previous year if that's what you want. Once you get that data, you click on generate a report. The AI generates it, and you can quickly send it from here with a click of the button. That AI is also editable because there is a human in the loop process. You need to double check what the AI says. It's the best way. I'm not going through the process because this video would take too long, but also when you set up the account, there is a spreadsheet validation that would also make this video even longer. So I just explain the automations, but I'm going to also show them in the back end how they are set up, so you can get an idea. For this landing page audit, basically you put an URL here with the company name. This is for the report generation at the end, and the automation goes through all the technical data, like, I don't know, SEO tags and page speeds, but also takes a print screen of the above the fold section of the website. Also the full website looks for CTAs, looks for trust signals, reviews, and so on. And with all this data, at the end, it generates a conversion rate optimization audit. It shows you where you should improve the landing page, what to do to improve the landing page, and so on. This is not actually an automation, it's something that I'm building. It's not fully completed, so I'm going to skip this. Almost similar to this, but it has a different approach because this uses a RAG AI agent node. RAG means retrieval augmented generative response. Sorry if I'm over explaining this. Basically, it looks, so you add the website here, and the AI scans the website and looks for signals that could potentially be red flags in relation to Google Ads policies. It's a RAG analysis because the AI queries some databases that are made of over 2,500 scraped Google Ads policy pages. So the AI looks into that vector database, and compares with the data you receive from the other nodes in the workflow, and then creates a report. One other useful automation that I've did is Slack weather alerts. So basically, you add a location here, and first you need to set up Slack to integrate Slack. It's an easy process, but you need to do it on your Slack account, obviously. When you add a location in a Slack channel, then the workflow every hour looks for weather alerts, and if there is a severe weather alert or the national weather alert, it sends that alert in the Slack channel. This is useful for service accounts where, I don't know, let's say roofing companies. When there is a storm in the area, you would want to increase the budget for roof repair keywords or roof repair campaign to capture all the all the increase in traffic that usually happens after a storm, because after a storm roofs get damaged and so on. Now let me show you in the back end some of this automation. Since I've talked about the weather alerts here, how I set this up, let me explain it in the back end. So these two workflows here are responsible for these two input fields. So one, it's validating the address. Basically, it's formatting the address after you enter the address here to be used by the other part of the workflow. And this is getting the Slack channel. So this is the integration with Slack to show you the Slack channels in here. Once the location and Slack channels are linked, it's scheduled every hour, and I'm using a database to store the location added here, so it checks locations. If it checks with the National Weather Service alert system, but also I've also integrated with tomorrow.io API, which has a more detailed weather alert system. That's why I'm using both systems here. Then it processes the alerts, and if there are alerts, it sends a notification on Slack, and then it reverts and looks for another loops and looks for another location, and so on. You'll also see this branch here. This is alert ended. So basically what this logic does is it checks if the alert is still active. If it's not, it sends a notification, okay, the alert is not active anymore, so you can reduce the budget or pause the campaign, and so on. It also a logic for not sending, because the workflow is scheduled hourly, it's also a logic for not sending a message each hour, because it would flood the Slack channel with useless messages. It sends the message when first the alert is found, and then when the alert is ended. See here some executions, because this is actually an active workflow that's working for a company. So it checked from hour to hour. This is for a couple of minutes ago when I entered here. It picked up the see here the Slack channels and so on. It's running. But as you can see, 10 p.m., 9 p.m., 8 p.m., 7 p.m., and so on. Other automations that I've mentioned, the Google Ads policy checker, the one that scans for red flags on the web page. So you add the website, like I've mentioned, then these nodes scan the website. The nodes take the links that they found in the main page, and then sends them to this portion to scan those links as well, because you don't want to scan just the web page, you want to scan several other pages. Then you take the data. So this looks for legal pages like privacy policy, shipping, if it's e-commerce, I don't know, return and refund, all the things that you must have to be compliant with Google Ads. Once you get all this information, this is the AI rag node. As you can see, it queries 3 vector databases here. This is the Google policy vector database that contains those 2,500 Google policy scrapped Google policy pages. It looks in here. These are other databases that I create. This is a more summarized but more specific database, and this contains just the prohibited content. There are over 113 found content types that the AI could check to see if the data it received is compliant or not. And then at the end it generates the report. Some other, so this is scraping the Google policy pages here, and creates a database and so on. I have an email if it fails, and so on. It runs once per month to update the Google policies. Where is the AI summary, the one that I mentioned? So this is when you generate a report. It gets these nodes are responsible for parsing the data and make some deltas, like comparing with the previous period and comparing with the previous year, and then with all this data it generates a report. The landing page audit, like I've said, here there are 2 main sections. Let's call them sections. So this branch here, this looks at the technical details of the page, like SEO and content, trust signal, social proof, engagement, technical SEO, page speed API. It's also checking for the loading times of the website. Actually, of the landing page, is not the website. This only scans one web page, not an entire website. And this section here is responsible for the graphical side of for the graphical analysis of the website. So it takes screenshots of both mobile and desktop version. It also takes screenshot of the above the fold section only to see what the user sees above the fold, and you get all this data via these merge nodes, and you combine all this data, you give it to the AI, and then the AI generates a report. If you find this type of automation useful, and if you think I'm I can offer you, I can add value to your company or to your job, please let me know.